Start recording. Okay, we have recording and we have audio. All right, awesome. Here we go. It starts in 3, 2, 1.
What comes down can also go up, but this goes up in a skip, a hop, and a hurry.
And smoother.
Do the bees know they make honey for you? This is the morning stream.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to TMS. It's the morning stream for February 28th, 2024. I'm Scott Johnson. Brian Ibbett here also. Hi, Brian.
That's right. Normally today,
Yeah.
we would say goodbye to February, but we've got Apple's one more thing.
That's right. We get one more day.
One more day.
That's right. I keep forgetting it's a weird one this year. Not weird.
That's
but...
right. This would be our year day if we did that whole evenly divide the calendar among 12 months kind of thing.
The show still gets emails about that. People going back and forth. Yeah, they think this is apparently a more thought-provoking topic than you and I had considered when we started.
It's kind of. It feels. There's something that feels kind of, I don't know, like the first step towards a utopian society, right? Like we can finally, if we can finally get our months to agree on length, we can maybe find a way for the rest of us.
There's a path forward for all our ills as a species, you know, as hosts, as top of the food chain of this planet. Finally, we found some common ground.
Right.
Hey everybody, we're back. I had a 3.5 hour dental appointment yesterday. That was fun.
Oh, jeez.
And the reason it was 3.5 hours, they got to do the bottom thing over here, and they got to do the top thing over here. And it turns out the one they thought was going to be the hard one was the easy one, and the one they thought was going to be the easy one was the hard one. And didn't expect that because normally I can even predict it. If it's on the bottom, it's going to be a pain. It's going to hurt more. He's going to hit the nerve ball. It's going to suck. It'll hurt the whole time, and I just have to deal with it. And then the upper one will be a piece of cake because that's how it always is with me. Not this time. For whatever reason, the bottom one was like lickety-split, done, no pain. And the top one hurt and never felt right and still hurts like right now.
Jeez.
So not terrible, not so much that it's killing me or anything, but it's just normal. It's normal. But this one at the bottom was a broken crown. He just replaced the crown. That's fine, and that made it easy. The other one was like an old high school inlay. Or onlay, something I don't know, freaking dental terms. What do I know?
What those are called, yeah.
But that thing's been in there since I think like '87. So they were like, yeah, that's coming out. So they took that out, replaced everything, and for whatever reason, that one hurt like hell. But here's the big part of the story. Last time I went in there for the evaluation, as you recall, I ran into a 19-year-old assistant girl. Who was blown away that I had been coming to the dentist she worked for longer than her life. And she just couldn't get her head around this 2004. Her birthday hadn't even come up yet for her 20th birthday.
Oh,
So this time I come in, and another girl, 19, not quite to her birthday month, I think it's in August, makes a whole nother point. And I didn't even bring it up this time. I said, she goes, oh, it says here you've been here for a long time. And I said, yeah, I've been coming since 04. She goes, it's not even my birthday yet. I wasn't even alive. I'm like, oh shit, another one, dude. Don't do this to me.
We've been podcasting longer than those women have been alive.
Oh my gosh, dude. I didn't even think of that. Well, we were doing that in 04.
Yeah.
Oh. That's painful to think about.
Yeah.
And more than half of her life, TMS, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's insane. Well, anyway, so this is the whole conversation we're having, and this is the time. So my dentist, his name is Jeremy Matthews. He's great. I really like him. Liked him for all these years.
It's a fake name.
It sounds fake, doesn't it? It sounds
like a fake name that Ben Linus would have used in Lost.
Jeremy Matthews. It's my cover.
Yeah. That's right.
And it wouldn't surprise me because he looks kind of like a secret agent. He's like super buff.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he's like ripped. He goes to the gym every day. He's super in shape. He looks like he might just be a handler or something like that for some spy. Anyway, he's working on my tear. He's doing the shop part, and he goes, all right, you ready for the fun part? And I said, yeah, like usual. Let's do this. And he's usually pretty good, you know, needle in. I can feel it, but it's not killing me. I just sort of tense up and hope for the best, right? I hate needles. No one likes needles in their face. But he gets this one down here, and down here I'm known. We talked about it on the show before. You and I think, are both prone to this. Our nerve bundles are lower in our jaw than your average person, and so it's easy to nick one or stab one directly or whatever. And he did just that, and my whole head went like this for a hot second, and I tensed up. And he goes, "Oh, I hit that nerve, didn't I?" And I said, "You did." Or I go, and he goes, "That's good." And I'm like, "Well, how is this good?" He's going to explain it. He goes, "Because that means you're going to be numb immediately on that tooth, and you're going to feel nothing, because when that main nerve is numb, no pain."
Sure.
So he goes, "So you had a little discomfort, a little bit of shock, but in the long term today, this is going to be a better experience for you." And you know what? He was freaking right, and it was immediate. I've never had a shot like that where the Novocaine didn't take forever to kick in. In this case, as soon as he pulled that needle out, I was already feeling all puffy and numb over here.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's great.
Bottom line is, it made this easier on the side.
Yeah.
Upper was a little harder. 3.5 hours it took. It's all fine now. I'm really glad to be out of there. I don't want to go back.
Still was probably more fun than Madam Web at the theater.
Yeah, you know what I was thinking? I was trying to think of things that are worse. I'm like, I could be a prison in a prison camp. I could be I could be in the audience of a Madam Web showing.
Right. Or Morbius, for that matter.
Or Morbius. Yeah. I could be sitting on a plane next to Gerard Depardieu, you know.
Sure.
There's these things that are worse that I could be all up to, and I wasn't. It wasn't that bad, but it was fine. In the end, I got a J-Dog certificate. I got a.
I love that. I keep forgetting you get that. That's so awesome.
It is pretty great. I didn't go there after because we had dinner playing with the kids, but anyway, that all worked out in the end.
When they can finally make great VR glasses that don't look like the largest ski goggles you can possibly fit on your face. Yeah. I think the dentist office is going to be a great place for that, because having one of those on that doesn't interfere with where the doctor or the dentist needs to place his hands, obviously.
Sure.
Which right now a Quest or a Vision Pro or whatever is still too bulky for that. But then you can just you'll still hear them, and they'll say, "Hey, can you turn to the right?" That sort of thing. Plus, I don't know if you have this problem, but when I'm at the dentist, they're in there working on your teeth, and they're looking at your mouth, right?
Yeah, they're all up in it.
But their face is right over yours. They're looking at your mouth. And I try to do anything but look at their eyes. Like ceiling tile, I am like, oh yeah, look at that ceiling tile, because the last thing I want to do is make eye contact.
There's something wrong. Yeah, that whole idea sounds awful. Why have I never thought of it before? You're so right about this. Yeah.
It was like, oh my God, the last thing I want right now is is to be looking at his eyes or her eyes, if it's the hygienist or whatever.
Yeah, dude.
And
that's a weird thing. Now that I think about it, I either closed my eyes or stared at the ceiling, or they had a TV screen. I didn't do a movie, but I watched a lot of previews for what's coming up soon on Netflix.
Dune Part 1.
I know, I really should have. I was there long enough. I would have had
3.5 hours would have been enough time.
Perfect timing. But I can't either. Now that you say that, I've never looked in his eye. I've done it when we talk just casually. Like if he's like, all right, well, so what you see up here, or hey, what's going on in the podcasting world, or whatever. We're looking at each other's face.
Well, yeah, if you're right.
But when he's on you and he's in you, freaking forget it, dude. That's weird.
Yeah. That is weird.
Good point, man. I don't want to. Yeah. Anyway, it was fine. I just
realized, oh my God, our showing of Dune is at 7 p.m. Thursday.
Yeah.
And it's do we know the length on this one? Is it same situation?
Find out real quick. Probably long, right? Gotta be.
I would assume so.
Dune.
Yeah. They're not going to say. Surprisingly, there we go. 166 minutes.
What is that?
So not quite 3 hours. That's 2 hours and 45 minutes. Basically.
I can deal with that. With that. That sounds great. Was part one?
I thought part 1 was 3 hours. But
felt like it.
Yeah.
In a good way. I don't want it to end.
In a good way. Yeah, no, it was a very entertaining film. I never talked about it. I saw Driveaway Dolls last weekend.
Oh shit! Yeah, I can't believe we haven't talked about this. Is it?
I know. I forgot to say it. So it's just Ethan Coen, not both Coen brothers.
Right.
And it feels like it. It feels like there's something missing. Now, all the acting in this thing is fantastic. shoot, I got to pull up Qualley, Margaret Qualley, who is Annie McDowell's daughter, who in this film is the first time she actually sounds like Annie McDowell with the accent and everything.
Oh, really? As she gets older, she gets more like
plays it up. Well, I think she's playing it. She's definitely playing it up to sound more kind of hillbilly.
Yeah.
And then Geraldine, and I can't remember her last name.
Viswanathan was
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I can never
She's
say
in that. She's in that Miracle Workers show that I recommended a while back with Daniel Radcliffe and Steve Buscemi. It's really, really good.
Yeah, that's right. Is it good? I mean, like, look, Ethan usually
good.
writes, and then Joel directs, right? That's the combo.
Yes, and I think there's a little bit that Joel would have probably said, this part feels a little too wacky. Let's kind of tone it down. Let's do another take this time. Tone it down. And I think without that, it lost something. So it's closer to the physical comedy combined with the wackiness of Raising Arizona more than any other Coen thing.
Okay.
But it just felt like some jokes were a little bit too long. Some wackiness scenes. Basically, it's about two lesbians. It's a road trip film with a couple of lesbians who don't realize they've got a suitcase in the back of their drive-away vehicle. These drive-away, like you can go to a company and say, hey, I need to go to Tallahassee. Are there any cars that need to be delivered to Tallahassee? And for free, you get the car to drive to Tallahassee.
Oh, that sounds great. I've never heard of that.
Isn't that great? What a great deal. Yeah.
Yeah. You can do that. That's the thing I could do if I wanted
That's
to do
the thing
it.
you can do. Yeah. I don't know how you find these things. I think I've only seen them in like Craigslist or something like that. But these drive-away vehicles that need to get delivered somewhere, then you have to figure out how you're going to get back, because chances are you're not going to find a similar situation with a car that needs to come back to Salt Lake City.
That's a good point. You have to fly or something.
But there's a lot of simulated sex that's done very slapsticky comedy, like okay. Do you remember the scene in it's another road trip movie? Was it just called Road Trip? For some reason I think it was just called Road Trip. The one with Sean William Scott and I
don't know. The Road Trip I think of is the one with Tom Green.
Yeah, Tom Green does kind of the narration of it, but it's really it's the other guys who go on this trip. Tom Green he doesn't actually go on the road trip. He watches the guy's snake while he's on the road trip.
Oh, I don't remember. It's been so long.
But it's the one with Sean William Scott where they need some money, so they stop off at a sperm bank, and he's going to donate some sperm, and he's chatting up the woman who runs the facility or the person's contact there, and she says, "How about if I massage your prostate? Milk your prostate."
Wow.
and he agrees to it, but it's this whole feels like a 5-minute scene of Sean William Scott making horse noises and scream yelling. There's a little bit good morning everybody, thanks for joining us for the show.
That's right, good morning.
But there's it feels like there's a lot of that kind of stuff in Driveaway Dolls.
Maybe too much.
It's a long way to go to get there. Some of the slapsticky simulated sex stuff was a little bit much.
How's Joey Slotnick? I like Joey Slotnick.
Joey Slotnick, he's amazing, and he's his head's completely shaved now, so he doesn't have that afro, that little blonde afro thing that he had in the 90s and 2000s. And he was really funny. He's one of the two thugs that's sent after these women to retrieve the case in their car.
Oh, I could see that. He's great for stuff like that.
Matt Damon's in this as kind of like a one of these thou protest too much kind of preachers, ministers.
One of those deals.
Senate. Yeah.
He could probably play that pretty well.
He can and does.
He's a good actor.
Worth seeing when it hits streaming, but it's all right.
Yeah,
it's okay.
It was okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It was okay.
Kind of a mecha-mental there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It says that as if we can't cram him in enough things, Pedro Pascal's in this as well.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
I know, our new Mr. Fantastic appearing here, and
it's a lot.
in this one as well. Yeah.
It's a lot. I'm a little worried. We need to slow down on.
I know.
You don't want to overexpose this poor guy because we love him.
He's going to go the way of Chris Pratt, where now we're going to start rolling our eyes. No, Pedro Pascal's in this. Okay, great.
Yeah, and I understand that business. Like they want to cast what's hot, right? I get it.
Right, exactly. I know a lot of you consider him to be a zaddy, but
yeah. I just want him to. I'm more concerned about him. I don't want him to get hosed. He seems like he's got it together and it'll all be fine, but I just don't want to overdo it, guys. Come on, Hollywood.
Yeah.
Real quick here, we got a guy who called.
Okay. All right.
And he's real, and that's all I want to say before I play it. He's real. Okay, here you go.
Hello, morning stream. This is Sven from baseball camp. Just wanted to drop a quick voicemail, say hi, and prove that I'm not AI generated or anything like that. Also, regarding the potato for now bit at the end of my last text message, I thought I typed ta-ta for now, but autocorrect had other ideas. So, yeah, although I do kind of look like a potato anyway, so close enough. Anyway, keep up the good work, and ta-ta for now.
Oh my gosh, freaking Sven from baseball camp exists. He's real. He's not just a
he's
figment.
real. It wasn't just an AI generated text message that we got. I love it. I
that's
love
great.
also the potato for now. If we weren't so entrenched and loved the show, though, potato for now would be a nice runner up for a way to close out your email.
Yeah, it's not bad. Potato for now, and then people do different vegetables or different tubers or whatever they're going to do. Like it would become the new meme, but I think love the show though is just too powerful. It's too strong.
It's too powerful. Yeah, that's the there are always two, a teacher and a student, and right now the teacher is still love the show though. The student is potato for now.
Yeah, you can't fight. You can't fight what's real, is what we're saying. We are going to call Dunaway though and see how real he is.
Yeah.
Because today. Well, we're making up for Monday. We're doing the Monday thing. The
great experiment of can we swap our two game shows and have it work? And
yeah, we're about to find out. Brian Dunaway joining us all the way from South Carolina. He's going to play this game with us. Hi, Brian. Welcome back to the show, sir.
Well, hi, Scott and Brian. How are you doing on a Wednesday?
Yeah,
we're good. Oh, we're good.
Did you miss not being at the business end of my my rocket launcher the other night because I couldn't show up to?
I did not miss it at all because it's never been a thing. So there you go.
No,
Suck it,
how can you miss a thing that doesn't exist? Oh. Yeah, Dunaway. Me and Ibbett couldn't go for two very different reasons, but we're sad we missed it. We're glad Fletcher and you
one sucks and one blows.
Yeah, there you go. One sucks and one blows.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. Yeah, I was in the car driving a long 45-minute Lyft ride, and I get the call on Discord. I'm like, oh crap! It's like, how quickly can I turn it off with this passenger in the car?
Sir,
like,
do you need to take care of that, sir?
It's kind of hard to deal with. But what's great was I had a thing I was going to say about that, and I forgot what it was. It was you called it. You said you guys either sucked or blow. That's what we do around here. People write in and they go, "Hey, suck and blow." See what I mean?
Suck and blow.
So you're blow, I'm suck. Yeah, take that.
Yeah, all right.
I don't know how I feel about that. Hey, Brian, we're going to play a game. You're here for that, and this other Brian here will explain to us how it works. Brian, take it away.
Okay, yeah. Hey, welcome to a Wednesday Half-Asses, a trivia game where I'm actually going to be giving you the answers. I'll give Scott and Brian a category and 6 possible answers, 3 of which are correct, and 3, wait a minute, it's a Wednesday and we're doing half-asses, that are incorrect. Depending on how confident they feel with the category, they can provide 1, 2, or 3 guesses, but if they get any wrong, they get 0 points for that round. Get 1 right gets a point. 2 right gets you 3 points, and 3 right gets you 5 points. The player with the most points after 3 rounds wins the prize for their contestant. And I've pulled contestants from members of the Tadpool that aren't able to listen live. Scott, you're playing for JP in Montreal.
Woo, JP.
JP. And Brian, you're playing for Joe Saporito in Portland, Oregon.
Wow. He sounds like a guy that could rub you out if you treat him bad.
Joe Saporito.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
And we'll talk about what those prizes are in just a moment. But first, let's get to the game and the first category for you, gentlemen. Mm-hmm. Your first category is inventions named after a place. Inventions named after a place. God, it just dawned on me that we could use this format for the questions for the pond.
For pond, yeah.
Yeah.
That would actually work, wouldn't it?
That would actually work because we could do this
I
interface.
don't know what you're talking about.
All right, whatever. You need to watch the pond, Brian, because we want to have you as a player next time.
Yeah,
It's
you
like
should
a-
go. You should go watch the
crap is
archive.
the pond.
It was a game we played a week and a half, or no, last Friday. Friday? Yeah.
Yeah. Last Friday,
and we
yeah.
did it on the feed as well as on YouTube. You should go rewatch that and see how that went. 'cause
Go
it was
watch
fun.
a little bit of it because it was a lot of
All
fun.
Yeah.
It sounds like fun. Yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
We get you and Randy and Nicole amongst the
Randy.
players, and
Mhm.
Bill and Bobby and Amy and
Whoever wants
Steven
in,
and-
really, you just can come
That's
on
right.
in.
I just want to make sure I don't leave anybody.
I'm
out.
feeling
Wendy, Tom.
less and less special the more names you mention.
Yeah.
Well, I just have to make sure I name every guest that we have
Do you?
during the week.
Do you?
To use Travis, because I
Do
want
you?
to make sure nobody feels like they're getting left out.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, but not Veronica. That is correct.
No,
not
she,
Veronica.
she no longer
So remember-
attends. Yeah, it's fine.
If you feel snubbed,
Yeah.
Bobby, just let
Oh, I
them know.
said Bobby. I did say
He
Bobby.
said Bobby. He may have pronounced it booby, but I heard
I
it.
might have called
Booby.
it Booby Frankenberger.
Yeah, Booby Frankenberger.
All right, let's get to this. All right. Inventions that are named after a place. Inventions that are named after a place. So, which of these inventions were named after a place? Pretty obvious. Mayonnaise, marathon, cotton gin, limousine, bocce, and bacon.
Would you really call any of these like mayonnaise
Invention?
an invention? I mean,
Somebody
come on.
invented mayonnaise.
We're
Somebody
being
said,
very loosey goosey with the term invention.
somebody said, how do I make eggs worse?
Yeah. Yeah. Although I like mayo in a situation or two.
I
for
like
the
mayo.
for the most part, though, I don't want a spoonful of that. You know,
No.
gross.
All right.
All right. I
You
locked
guys
in.
both locked in. You guys both locked in on mayonnaise, the aforementioned mayonnaise. Well, I
Yeah.
gotta put glasses on because I like looking at the additional information that they sometimes provide.
Sure.
Mayonnaise is named after Port
Yeah,
Mayol in
everybody knows that.
Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you? Okay.
Fact.
I didn't know that.
I have a condiments trivia book I keep next to the bed.
Do
Yeah.
you? Is
Every
it
night.
a box of condiments?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
neither. It can be
That's why you got
ketchup.
so many kids, Brian.
Ketchup. Ketchup.
And
Oh.
limousine. Limousine also named after Limousin, France.
Yeah.
And bacon.
Woo!
Not
Oh,
named
you
after.
did.
Oh shit!
Oh no, that's great.
Gosh dang it.
Marathon is named after a marathon in Greece.
Mm.
Oh, that makes sense. That
Yes.
makes a lot of sense. That was one I couldn't decide on though.
What's the origin
Yes.
of bacon? It's like, you know what I mean?
It's named after a person. It's named after Kevin Bacon.
Is the most wonderful place in the world.
That's right.
Yeah.
Zoe can tell us. Zoe will be able to tell us what the name of where bacon came from. The name
Right,
of bacon.
it's Bacon, Georgia. It's
There you go.
yeah.
Bacon, Georgia.
Yep.
I love it.
Get
All
rid
right.
of the M. You got your bacon.
It's,
Very
it's
nice.
like when somebody with a cold referred to Macon,
Right.
Georgia. For Bacon, Georgia. All right, let's get to question number 2. Speaking of Oscars, we weren't yet, but we will later today. Speaking of Oscars, which of these stars never won an Oscar for acting? Which of these never won an
Oh,
Oscar for
I like how
acting?
you qualified it for acting.
Yes,
Which
I do like
means that possibly for something else.
Possibly.
Interesting.
Cary Grant, Jerry Lewis, Alec Guinness, Jeremy Irons, Orson Welles, and John Wayne.
John Wayne.
John Wayne.
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 I'm going all out here. I hope I'm even close
Kind
to
of have
right.
to at this point, don't you?
Yeah.
You guys both locked in on Jerry Lewis. Yeah, Jerry Lewis won an honorary Oscar. He
Right.
still was still alive when he received it. Wasn't posthumous. Isn't he still alive? Isn't
I
Jerry
think
Lewis
he's still
alive?
around. I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
Is he
Yeah.
still doing? Is he still?
I don't know if he's still doing the muscular
marathons?
dystrophy.
Oh,
Right.
I'm sorry. He died at
Still
90.
buds.
He died in 2017 at the age of 91.
Okay, that's
No.
what I was
Listed,
thinking. He would have
okay.
passed away. Okay, good.
Yeah,
Couldn't
okay.
remember.
Cary Grant also never won an Oscar for acting, honorary Oscar only, and Orson Welles. He won a screenplay Oscar, but not an acting Oscar. Jeremy Irons did win an Oscar for what was it?
Yeah, I was
shoot,
curious
can't
about
remember.
Orson Welles, but yeah.
Yeah,
makes
Orson
sense.
Welles, I think, won his screenplay for.
Yeah,
Citizen.
Cary Grant famously snubbed. I figured Jerry Lewis wouldn't get anything.
Yeah.
Most comedians like that
You're
You have to do
you're
something
destroying me today. You're absolutely
Guinness
killing
for
me.
Bridge on the River
Yeah, well, you
Kwai.
killed me Monday. You win that. Yeah, you win 9 of 12. You destroyed me.
Reversal. That's right. Reversal of Fortune, where he played Sonny Bristow.
Sunny D. Sunny D.
It was the guy who
You're enjoying your game, September.
was questionably he killed his wife, and like it was the story with him
right.
and Glenn Close.
Glenn Close, right? Yeah, he
Klaus
was.
Van Bulow. That's right. It was Sonny Von Bulow was Glenn Close's character.
I was hoping it was Sunny D, and the evil nemesis was the purple stuff. Yeah.
That's right. Killed by the purple stuff.
Yeah.
So we got question number 3, but Scott, you just need to show up for it, really.
Yeah.
Brian's got 6 points, so you need
Getting murdered.
You just want to have some points on the board, right?
Yeah, I need to have some semblance of respect when I leave this game
right.
today.
Yeah, like I
Well,
said, y'all
here's-
destroyed me. You
Here's your
in
chance
September
with
destroyed me Monday.
That's
with
right.
sports.
Oh, yay. Sports. Let's do it.
Sports. Cities that baseball's athletics have called home. So the team, the Athletics.
Yeah, the A's.
yeah.
Where
Yeah.
else? Where all has it been? Kansas City, St. Louis, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Milwaukee, and Oakland are your choices.
Oh, baseball athletics have called. Okay.
The Athletics.
The athletics. Interesting.
Shit.
That.
Might help for you to think of them as the A's, as they're sometimes called.
Yes.
The A's.
I don't help any though. I don't know anything about baseball history.
That's as close as I'm gonna. No, I can already see my mistake. But anyway, there it is. Yeah. Good job, Scott.
Okay, you guys are both locked in. Oakland, of course, right? Oakland A's. That is the
That's what I was thinking. Then I was like,
kind of the obvious one. Kansas City, also former home of the A's.
Yeah.
Your other one was Philadelphia, not St. Louis.
Every single
yeah.
answer I've done today is 2 correct, 1 wrong.
Yes, exactly.
All I needed to do was just do 2 that I was sure of. In each case, I would have.
Yeah.
I'd be at least tied or winning this damn game.
That's right. That's right. And that's the Cyborg dude asked, are they going to Vegas next? I think that is the thing. That's where they're going to be putting the stadium over there where the Tropicana is.
That was. I hear it's a little bit in a bit of a bung up right now, but I think that's ultimately what they want, right?
Yeah.
A bung
Tear
up?
that up.
A bung up. Little
They're
bit
just
of a
gonna
bung up.
any team that ever existed in Oakland, California, will eventually be in Vegas. That's the rule.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Congratulations, Brian. Well done. You did manage to score early and keep your lead. So
Yes.
congratulations is going to be going to Joe Saporito in Portland, Oregon. Joe, you're going to be getting a copy of
job,
Arcade Craft
Yeah.
and Alien Shooter. I'm sorry, Alien Shooter 2 Reloaded. I'm a little worried about the Arcade Craft code because now I'm looking at it and I'm looking at the email from the person who submitted it, and I'm only seeing 4 letters in the last section of the Steam code. Doesn't that need to have
It's
5 in each?
Usually, well, I know they're equal in each section, but I don't remember if it's 4 or 5. Are the rest of them 5?
The rest of them are 5. So
That is weird. Looks like we're
so
missing a
just keep entering letters and numbers into that last spot until you're able to download. Arcade Craft.
Congratulations, winner. You've got
Yeah.
some work ahead of you.
No, let me
sure
know.
did.
Let me know if it doesn't work, and I will get with the
You've got
original
code.
person who sent it and see if they've got a fix. But don't worry, JP in Montreal, you're getting a copy of From Space, also from Steam.
Wow. Sounds like everyone's a winner.
Congratulations.
Except me.
Except Scott.
I'm not. I'm doing terrible with these half-asses, but I do feel good about Feud on Monday. So next week,
Yeah.
we'll put it all to the test once again. It'll be a blast, of course. And a reminder that Dunaway and I do a show called Play Retro, and we're doing one this very coming Friday at 1:30 p.m. Mountain Time if you want to watch it live. Hey, Dunaway, what are we covering that day? Tell people.
We're
about
we're going back and playing Advance Wars, that game on the Game Boy Advanced. And I got to play it on my Analog Pocket this week, and this is my first time. Got to say, I like it. Scott
Oh,
seems
really?
to be, Scott
Oh,
loves
wow.
it from way back when.
Yeah,
I love
the-
it from way back when too.
Yeah, they're Advance Wars 1 and 2 are 2 of my favorite handheld games of all time, and they still hold up. And those remakes, I meant to grab those this year because they
I
did
was going
finally
to
come
ask
out.
you if you picked up the remake. Has anybody
never
picked
did.
it up?
Not in this group, I don't think.
I haven't picked it up yet, but I've been reading some stuff, and there's a lot of hate going on how it
really?
got out or whatever. So I'm curious to investigate that further tonight.
Well,
So,
part of it was
yes.
they took forever because it was all due to the Ukrainian invasion, and because
And you know what's funny? Funny? They said the same thing back on 9/11 because they released it like they were supposed to release it like that weekend or something on 9/11. So either bad luck or possibly excuses.
Well, to me, it sounds like they take the Advance Wars, the cartoon world of Advance Wars, a little too seriously, in my opinion. I don't think it's any big deal at all.
Oh, is it? So the complaints are like about the lore, basically?
Well, they're just like, oh, this is two countries at war, and now we have that now, and we can't have that. It's like, no, go ahead. It's fine. You know how many war games exist? It's ridiculous that they took so long. But anyway, the originals are amazing. The remakes are supposed to, at least gameplay-wise, be very good. And we're going to talk about its origins, why it's awesome, and why 1 is a little better than 2, in my opinion.
Oh, interesting.
Just a little bit.
We'll agree.
Bit. That'll be Friday, 1:30 Mountain Time. We'll probably play some Unreal Tournament 2K4 after that as well.
Absolutely.
And test out your new server rotation. That'll be fun. Brian Dunaway, is there anything else?
No,
Oh, well, okay, bye.
You didn't want to get cut off.
I
was going to really quickly see if I could find my cartridge in case for Advance Wars for the DS.
Do you still have it?
Sure
You probably still have it somewhere, right?
I do still have it, yeah, somewhere. Because that was a game that was like, oh, I love this. I could see myself coming back to it and playing it. And now it's like, oh, well, I could just get that thing on Switch and not have any physical media and get it again.
So the Advance Wars for DS was a different game, though, right? Let's see. That was called...
Yes, as opposed to the... Right.
Oh, Dual Strike. Did that just include both games? Let's see.
Oh,
no, it's the third. So you got... that's the one I never played. I don't know why I never played the DS game. I just never did. And it seems like it had been perfect because of the stylus and moving your units around and all that.
Yeah.
Never did that. But the first two games on GBA were amazing.
It's still $60 for
the
Switch one. Reboot Camp.
Yeah, it's 2 games, so it's, look at it 30 and 30, but still.
But they're remake. I mean, they're not remakes. They are remastered versions of
the same game.
Of the games I've already played. So it's like, I'm going to wait and see and get those cheaper, hopefully.
Maybe those will go on sale like Nintendo rarely does, but maybe they will. Yeah. I mean, I'm just going to play. I'll pull up the old ones on my Ambernet and play it there. That's how.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good way to do it.
We're going to do some quick news, and that news begins here.
I don't watch the news.
Well, we do, so let's talk about it. Brian, the news is brought to you by
J.K. Grammer. He plays games, and we have proof when he live streams by going to youtube.com/@JKGrammer01. That's JKGRAMMER01. Go follow so you get notified when he goes live.
That's right. And if you're in Vegas, you'll get to meet him. This guy we bring up all the time.
We get to finally meet him. Oh, my God. Finally getting to meet J.K. Grammer.
Yeah, him and his fiance by then will be his married lady.
He and Sarah going to be married before then?
I think so.
They should have waited and got married in Vegas.
Yeah, don't quote me on this. I'm not sure. Maybe they'll get... I don't think they're getting married there, but I could be wrong. Not that we haven't seen that before. I mean, Chloe did that.
No.
Chloe did it a couple years ago.
Oh, he got married on the wheel.
Yeah.
The big wheel.
Yeah, we were trying to...
The high roller, yeah.
The way that was supposed to work, because I have a card that lets me marry people, I was supposed to do it, but as it turns out, Las Vegas is very, very stringent about who they let marry people because they have a whole business economy there for marriages. So if you want to perform the marriage of somebody, you got to do some special hoops in Nevada, it turns out.
I've been asked by a relative to officiate their wedding, so I can't wait. I get to come up with my solid 10 minutes of stand-up to use for that.
Yep, all your material.
Let's talk about marriage, shall we? Why is it that people...
How soon?
What's up with the throwing of the garter? Who invented that?
When's the first time you leave the seat up in the bathroom?
Exactly.
Let's do the story about Domino's. Domino's in Japan, the pizza place, not the game, the board game.
Yes.
Is that a board game? Would you call Domino's a board game?
I would call it a tabletop game, but not a board game.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good way to do it.
There no board is typically included with Domino's unless it's I mean, even Wagon Train or Train Domino's has the little plaque thing that you put on the board that you build from, but still not not a board game.
Not a real board. You got to have a board to make it a board game. This is a good distinction.
Right.
One that seems obvious now that I say it, but yeah, you need a board for your board game. Not just a table,
Right.
I guess.
It is kind of a requirement. Well, some people could say it's a general term meaning a game you play on a tabletop,
Sure,
right? A
sure.
board game. But I mean, I think of it as literally you have to have a board for a board game.
Yeah.
And tabletop game is the more general term.
Yeah, tabletop's very
Game
different.
comes-
Although tabletop
is
can include boards, though. So it's the other way. The other way it can
Right,
include
tabletop-
a board, but you can
Tabletop is right. The circle of board games fits in the tabletop game
There you go.
realm, but but not vice versa.
Your Venn
By the way,
diagrams,
is
yeah.
the dominoes in Japan, is it 30 minutes or seppuku?
Yeah, except the problem is they really have to hit that time or else nobody works there. So
Right, it'll lose a lot of employees. Yeah.
it says they have apologized after employees' nose picking video went viral.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
Oh, Japan, what are you doing?
Well, it wasn't just that he picked his nose, according to this first line. Oh God. Oh.
Yeah, this is worse. Pizza delivery giant Domino's is in damage control mode after a video surfaced online of an employee appearing to pick his nose and then wipe it on the pizza dough. His boog there. He took out a boog and wiped it on the pizza dough. The incident has sparked outrage and raised concerns about food safety. Well, do they mean in general or just at this Domino's? Because come on now. I hate that kind of talk. It's like, well, the incident's got people thinking more broadly about food safety
It's
issues.
the entire problem is all food safety and not just this horrible, horrible employee who should
that.
never work in food service again.
Well, dude, I vote for that. Where do I
Yeah,
sign?
but do you think, I mean, can you, I know there's like, you put on a no-fly list.
Mm-hmm.
They need to have an equivalent of a no work in food service list.
Yeah.
Because right now somebody could just call and say, hey, did this employee work at your Domino's legally? Yeah, he did. What was the dates? Yeah, it was.
Well, we do it for sex offenders. We do it for
Right.
Who else do we do this for? Multiple DUIs and things. We have records.
Yes, right, exactly. I think we need a no working in food service. No,
Yeah. And I'm not
This person
saying it's
should
as
not
bad. I'm
have
not
a public facing job.
exactly anywhere that you could put your finger in the dough after picking a boog.
Right, exactly.
Gross.
Or a sausage and McMuffin. Don't put take him out of there. No
Yep.
$5 footlong doesn't have to be dough. Just anything.
Anything I'm supposed to eat. Freaking F that.
Yeah.
The video, which went viral on social media platform X, formerly known as Twitter in parentheses.
Did they really? Oh,
Yeah,
geez
it's right
Louise,
there.
Of course they did.
Shows the employee using his gloved finger to pick his nose and then wiping it in the dough. When interviewed by the Japan News, the employee...
Wearing gloves.
Yeah, at least he was wearing a glove, right? That's somehow better, somehow.
Jeez. Yeah.
Talking to the Japan News, the employee admitted to the act, saying he thought it would be funny, but regretted his actions. As a result, Domino's has terminated the employment of the individual involved. Now, that may sound like, well, obviously they fired him. In Japan, it takes a lot to get fired. A lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, you have to really, you got to wipe a boog into your dough to get out of there. Because they
Apparently
don't fire
so.
people.
That's how you get out. Yeah.
Yeah, they're having a hard enough time filling jobs over there anyway because they're population issues. But, if you want to get out of your job at Domino's in Japan, wipe a boog on the dough. That's how you do it. Domino's Pizza Japan issued an official apology as read by the stop-motion character, the Noid. Just kidding. This didn't happen. I made that up. On its social media account, which stated that the incident took place at their Amagasaki store in Hyogo Prefecture after hours. Yeah, happened when they were... I don't know what after hours means. I guess not during...
Just after they'd closed, like they're making the dough for the next day, basically.
Oh, even worse, dude. They sit there all night and have that booger just being in there.
Yeah.
I'd rather the story be about I wiped it on the slice, the guy ate the slice, and now I'm in trouble. I don't want to know that it's in that dough sitting there.
Right. Like was it in the big mass of dough that they used to make a bunch of pizzas, or was it after he'd rolled out one pizza?
Oh.
That he wiped the bug in the
The story gets worse the more I think too hard about it. They got rid of the dough.
Domino's pizza.
It says they assured the public that the contaminated dough wasn't used in any pizzas, and all remaining dough was gotten rid of. So they chucked it all. In an apology, they promised to take steps to ensure such incidents never happen again, and expressed deep regret for the secret ingredient that was in the dough. All right.
We've gotten some all caps in our chat room. Stephanie Innipets has asked us to stop talking about boogies. It's the one thing that she can't stomach talking about. I got to tell you though, Scott, I played this app on my phone. It was like the Booger Endless. It was a Booger Endless Runner game, and it was an endless running nose game, and it was great.
Oh, it sounds amazing. And it ends up you have to jump in the dough at the end. If you win, you jump in the dough.
That's right, exactly.
Sorry, Stephanie. You're fun. You're fun to tease. Final story. This has been the big story over the last 24 hours.
Really?
Kids have left in tears, and police have been called over the shambolic, or what we would just say here in the States, a sham of an event.
Shambolic.
Which was a thing called Willy Wonka. Willy Wonka Glasgow, they called it.
Okay.
It is parents forked out 35 euros for this per ticket per person. In an event promised to be, quote, chocolate fantasy like never before, a day where dreams come to life. But the reality was more like a nightmare. So, Brian, think Fire Festival, but for kids.
But for kids. Oh, no.
That's kind of what happened here.
Styrofoam box with a half-eaten cheese sandwich in it.
It's pretty bad. Like the photos they used for marketing were all AI bullshit.
Yeah.
Not photos, but art and stuff.
The art, yeah.
And then the actual event.
Oh, no. Was this these are really the...
Look at that warehouse. It's just a warehouse with a couple of things in it. It's so bad.
Oh, my God.
Whoops, closed.
Yeah, I would be pissed.
I'd be so pissed. Look at this.
They couldn't even be bothered to line up the mural pieces correctly.
Yeah, they don't even look right. They look bad.
They look really bad. Jeez,
they're
Louise.
Crooked. There's a bounce. There's a small bounce house way off in the corner somewhere.
I want to know what's in these like urine sample cups on this folding table on the side.
I know, dude. Look at that. A little half drunk, whatever. Anyway, people that got there early, like not only left early, but like are threatening to sit. Like people are fried. They're so mad.
I would be so pissed.
Yeah, pretty lame, this whole deal.
Oh, Ireland. What are you doing? Oh, Northern Ireland. Wow. Wait, this was
Glasgow.
Belfast? Is that what you said? Oh, Glasgow. Okay. So.
Yeah. Sorry, Ireland.
Never mind. Not Ireland. I guess Scotland.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Scotland. You guys ruined
Scotland.
it for everybody.
I thought you said Belfast. Oh, Scott. What are you doing, Scotland?
Yeah, right? You're supposed to be cool. You got the kilts and the whatnot. Come on. The bagpipes and the Loch Ness business, and you can't pull off a single Roald Dahl inspired freaking thing for kids? Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Anyway.
Sorry, folks. I was pulling up the music for the show, and I thought he said Belfast. I didn't hear. Didn't hear Glasgow. Okay.
It can happen.
Belfast.
It can happen.
Jeez, people. I know Belfast. I know where Glasgow is.
Speaking of which, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Tom Merritt will be here. So why don't you tell me about this song that you've been researching?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's go to Glasgow for this music, and then we'll immediately take a trip from Glasgow to Alberta, where this band really is from. This is a band called Royal Tusk. They have a brand new album that just came out last week called Altruistic. These guys are great. These guys are what's a comparison I can do? Like a kind of rock with a little bit of punk, new punk.
Okay. All right.
All right. Anyway, this is the Alberta rock trio Royal Tusk, brand new album just came out called Altruistic. This is the first song from the album. It is called Hated. Here's Royal Tusk.
Dermot McRolney.
And we return. Tell me who that was again.
Sure. From Belfast, but really actually from Alberta, Canada. That is Royal Tusk with their song Hated, which is from their brand new album called Altruistic. If you like that, check out the whole album. The whole album's out, so go check it out right now.
Yeah, you got what are you waiting for, people? Go get it.
Exactly.
Let's get Tom Merritt in here, talk some tech.
Yeah.
I don't know if his Discord thing. I forgot to ask him about it during the week.
Oh gosh, yeah. Let's see if he's still got audio issues.
Totally spaced it, but we'll find out. Oh, I hear myself a little bit. It doesn't matter because I'm about to play this.
We want Tom.
Yeah, we do. It's Tom Merritt joining us as he does every Wednesday to talk about the day's technology news. Tom Merritt, welcome back to the show.
Well, thank you for having me back, Brian, Scott, and all of you.
Hello.
Yes.
You
sound great.
I don't hear that weird hum this time. So
There's a little hiss in your microphone the last couple times, and we always forget to mention it after the show to say, "Hey, let Tom know he's got a little bit of hiss in his."
Yeah, I always forget it, and then I'd show up at a meeting, and then you sound totally normal on a Discord call for the meetings on Wednesday. So I'm like, and then I totally forget, and then I never bring it up again. So I don't know what that is. It's very weird. It's like a weird.
There
little...
it is, right there.
Yeah, there it is. It almost sounds like a guy going like this in the mics, almost like that. Yeah.
Weird. That's so weird.
You sound great today.
No, I'm glad it's gone. I'm glad the echo is gone. I'm glad I remembered to turn on pass-through.
Yeah.
I'm glad about so many things. I'm glad it's Mobile World Congress this week.
Oh my gosh, that's always a big deal, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What's expected? Anything big and massive this year? Because we never get like Samsung kind of does their own thing, but don't they also do stuff for this?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're definitely there, touting their Samsung Galaxy Ring coming later this year. We don't really know that much about it. They showed it off at a media event, but wouldn't let the media take pictures of it. Instead, they're like, here are the pictures you can use. So it's not done. There's something still wonky about it. Maybe it's not the final design or whatever. But also Honor says it's going to do a ring. Mark Gurman says that Apple has investigated a ring, although it appears that they're not actively developing it right now. It feels like smart rings are a product category you are going to get tired of soon, because that's usually what happens is everybody starts, well, I'm so tired of hearing about foldables. So I'm so tired of hearing about tablets or whatever the new category is at the time, right? So I think by the end of this year, we're going to have several competitors in the ring space, and it will become a conversation about, well, when's Apple going to do it? Is Apple still making its ring? When's Apple going to make a ring?
Of course.
But yeah.
Okay.
Samsung have a Galaxy Ring out by the end of the year. Honor says it will also have a ring out by the end of the year. Of course, Oura already is out there.
Amazon had theirs, but I haven't heard anything about Amazon since they.
Oh, they had a ring.
You don't mean the Ring doorbell. You mean Amazon actually had a ring. Yeah.
This one right here that I got. This one right here that I got that has the little clickable or the vibrating. Oh, maybe that's not a ring. Oh, sorry. Maybe that's not for my finger.
Oh, goodness gracious.
No, this was like you could talk into this and ask, and it would do, as long as your phone was nearby, you could do ALEXA questions, and you would hear the answer out of this thing.
Would you call that a ringtone when you hear it come out of there? A ringtone? Maybe.
It definitely has a ringtone now, like, why haven't you warned me in a couple of years, Brian, or whatever.
Because isn't the whole okay, so Tom, just as educate, including me, because I haven't really paid attention to this ring stuff. These are mostly health devices, I assume.
Yeah, they're fitness health tracking devices. Samsung says that it will definitely do things like track your sleep. It'll track your heartbeat, your heart rate and all of that. They also are trying to work on adding things like glucose monitoring and blood pressure, which those are difficult. Those are those kinds of technologies that you can technically do, but if you can't do them well enough to get regulatory approval from places like the FDA in the United States, for example, then you can't really tout them as blood pressure or glucose monitoring, and then they're not worth doing. So usually what happens is these technologies exist and the companies are trying to figure out how to make them reliable enough to pass regulatory scrutiny. But Samsung's out there talking about them, so they feel confident that they're close, and by the end of this year, maybe they'll have it.
It's just such a moving target because every country's got their own restrictions, their own rules, their own levels of what they'll accept, and you're aiming for a global market, not one or two countries that accept your thing. You always hear about Apple trying to get A1C testing with the watch, and they just have not been able to get it because there's more than one standard they have to meet. So that makes sense.
And then there's a thicket of patents. Of course, we've been following Apple's travails with the oxygen level monitoring. So, and a lot of people wonder just exactly how useful these sorts of tracking really are. Because a lot of times they'll get approval to say it exists, but they won't get approval for clinical use, for example.
Right.
Like, and so, and sleep tracking is at best a guess science right now. Not because you can't track sleep, but because the data that's returned, we don't really know what it means.
Yeah.
People are still trying to do studies to figure out how it actually should be interpreted. So a lot of questions about this kind of stuff, but Oura has made a splash in its little niche. If you haven't heard of it, they had a big partnership with the NBA. During the lockdown when they were playing in the bubble, they gave Oura rings to everybody, to help monitor their health. I'm not sure how much it really helped with their COVID health or not, but a lot of people liked it. A lot of those players kept it and said, yeah, I like being able to have that data without having to wear something around my wrist.
It's interesting. And these, I guess I can see how much these cost. What do we know what a market expectation is for something?
Yeah,
like this?
you're talking a few $100s.
Okay.
They're less than a smartwatch, but they're not super cheap.
All right. I don't know why I'm kind of interested in this. I just
of the actual Oura.
Yeah.
I'm interested.
From what I know, the Oura is the one to get, right? Like if you're going to get
I'm the only one right now.
Yeah.
That's the charger. I was like, that's
Yeah.
that was pretty cheap, but no, that's just a charger.
Yeah, it looks like $299 for the Heritage model, and the Horizon model, whatever that means, is $349. That sounds about right. I mean, you're going to pay that for a nice ring anyway. I'm not a big nice ring kind of guy, but I could be convinced. Like if you gave me enough reasons why, like what Brian described, it's more interesting to me.
You're supposed to pay 3/4 of a year's salary for one of these things, aren't you? Isn't that the tradition?
Yeah.
Wait, are you asking me what I think you're asking me? So you're not into big cars and big rings.
Yeah. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and this is the Echo Loop. Is a big hunkin' ring. Like it's like, hey, Vinny, I'm gonna rub you out there.
Yeah.
The size of that compared
How
to my
much are
wedding
those
ring.
anyway? Those are like
This was $129, but discontinued. I don't know if the software still works, but
they quit doing. They just quit making it. They're not into it.
They did. They stopped it in November the year that they released it.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah.
Amazon doesn't have the reputation that Google has for retiring products, but maybe they should
Yeah.
because they do this a lot. Remember the buttons that you could press to order your Tide or your toilet paper?
Yes.
Yeah, what happened to that?
I still have one of those somewhere. Yeah.
That felt like a thing you wanted to go ahead and get one so that you could say you had one because they weren't going to last very long. Yeah.
Yeah. And they were free for a while.
That's
Eventually,
true.
you had to pay for them, and that's when I was like,
Yeah. Did they still like they've got that Echo that lets you make what was it fashion decisions? I haven't heard jack about that thing.
Right. It would look at your
closet.
Yeah. I don't know if that does that or if that's even a product I can buy there anymore. I guess I could look, but weird.
I mean, we could all look.
We could all look. Yeah.
It's just basically like what Amazon does is what most companies do in private, but Amazon does it in public and sells you the testing devices.
So somehow it's not as bad.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Somehow. Well, anyway, I mean they've had a couple of winners.
Now I have to look it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna find out.
The closet one.
Yeah, it was the Amazon Look was what it's called, and I found this report.
That's right.
Amazon will no longer support the Echo Look. May 29th, 2020. Yeah.
You know what's great? I have two in my search engine. I have two results from The Verge right on top of each other. One's from 2018. It says Amazon Echo's fashion look camera is now available. The very next one, 2020, Amazon will no longer support the Echo Look. That's a shame.
Wait, they discontinued it in May 2020?
Yeah.
That's just rude.
It's very rude. It's very rude indeed.
Or maybe it's like, well, none of you are going out right now. So.
I was going to say, that's when most of us were just spending so much time looking at our closets, although everybody needed to dress up for those,
everybody
those Zoom
pajamas for a while there.
Not everything could be the original Echo or the Kindle, right? Everything's got to have its lifespan.
You got to test something, and I guess the Apple Car's out too.
Now we're done.
Today,
we talked about that yesterday on DTNS, and the fact that a lot of people are clowning Apple, for spending 10 years developing a car and then not developing a car, and that's fine. I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade, but that is something that Apple has the luxury of doing, and it's not a bad idea because they did the right thing, which is like, let's investigate every avenue and see if it works. And they're like, nope, it doesn't work. So instead of forcing something out there, they just said, no, we'll take these people and this technology and apply them elsewhere. So my thing is keep an eye out for technology coming into Apple's other devices that you hear Mark Gurman or somebody else saying, this technology was originally started as part of Project Titan, the car project, and now it's made its way into whatever that new product is.
Yeah, it'll probably leverage Apple in a better position to be the go-to for car manufacturers that don't want to do all the
sure,
guts,
yeah.
A
lot of that stuff's going to go into CarPlay, and you know what? I hadn't thought about this till just now. A lot of people will leave Apple. Gurman said that there's probably going to be layoffs, but Apple's so good about avoiding announcing layoffs that I'm like, I bet they figure out a way out of this.
Yeah.
But whether it's layoffs or not, people are going to leave Apple because they wanted to work on Project Titan and they can't anymore, and they're going to do startups.
That's true.
And there's going to be a bunch of startups that'll be like former Project Titan Apple engineers, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, there always is with these things, so I'm sure we can watch for that. Well, all right. This all looks great. We're going to talk more about the day's tech news today on the Daily Tech News Show. I'll be there. I've also got a little bit of something to say about historical records and tracking for video games. Not necessarily preservation of games, but like, what does it mean to have a historical record of it? We don't have a lot of documentaries. We don't have a lot of books. We don't have a lot of stuff compared to other things, yet we're this huge part of the market. And why is that? Well, there's a cool new effort being pushed forward that does this very thing. We have some thoughts about it. I'm going to bring that to the show along with a whole lineup today. Very excited about that. Tom Merritt, anything else going on you want to mention?
Just that, if you want to hear from me every day of the week, I'm out on Daily Tech News Show 4 out of the 5 days, of course. But if you want to hear my tech perspective every day of the week, and just from me, freetechnewsletter.com gets you that 1 day a week. And then if you upgrade to the paid tier, you get it Monday through Friday. So I, talk about all the different news of the day that I think is important, and give you my perspective on that. In a newsletter delivered to your inbox for you to read at your leisure. So go check it out. You can try it for free, freetechnewsletter.com.
Tom Merritt, everybody. You know him, you love him. We'll see you later today. Bye now. His hiss wasn't as bad. It was
not
there.
as bad. It's funny. The last couple times it started out quiet and then got really loud by the time we were done.
Yeah, it gets really loud and then sometimes drops and then goes up again. It's a weird gain thing. I don't know what that's.
It really is. Yeah, I don't know. Just like snowballs.
I have made a note though. Today during our meeting, I'm going to say, "Hey, we heard it again." See what he says. Not that it's a big deal. He could call in the middle of Fallujah bombing. It's fine. Well, I mean that's not fine. But if it was happening, we would take him. We don't care. We don't care what he does. Right. We'll take Tom Merritt.
No, of course, absolutely. We'll take Joining us now is Tom Merritt from from
Anywhere.
And then just a long pause.
Yeah.
Thank you, Scott and Brian.
Yeah.
Yes.
A 7-second delay on satellite. Love that.
Right.
All right, Nicole incoming. Randy's not here today for recommendals. He had a last-minute meeting that apparently is going to take all day, according to him. Jeez. Sounds like a lot of stuff going on at Blizzard right now. So instead, we're going to bring our pal Nicole in, and we're going to do this right here. Whoops.
Well, what do you recommend?
Well, let me tell you what we recommend. Streaming things from services and stuff. And welcome Nicole Spag to the program. Hi, Nicole. How are you?
Hi. Usually,
Yeah.
they're streaming on services, but mine's going to be a buy.
Yours is a buy or
a rent.
A rental,
Yeah.
sure.
Honestly,
It's an inexpensive rent.
It's worth a buy.
Yeah,
Really?
it is.
Okay.
It's one of Nicole's favorite things in the world, right? You love this thing you're going to talk about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're going to talk about it.
Yeah, I can't wait. Brian, we're going to start with you as usual. Now, what is different today is that, you explain. You're taking this in a little different direction than usual.
Yeah, absolutely. I did this last year, and this is a thing that Tina and I really, really enjoy. So after we finish watching all of the Best Picture nominees and all of the Best Acting, like if there are any Best Acting nominees that aren't in the Best Picture category, we've pretty much covered all those. We still have to watch The Color Purple, and I think that's the only one we have left. So we've watched all of the major category nominee films, and now we move on to the shorts, because shorts are great, very comfortable in the summertime, keep you cool, and there are three great shorts categories in the Oscars. There's the animated, the live action, and then the documentary. And some would argue that the documentary is live action as well. I would argue that.
How short does it have to be a short?
Yeah, good
it's a
question.
really good question. The longest short that we watched was about 40 some minutes, but I think anything that's less than the hour and 20 something minutes that something is required to be a feature film. I think it's an hour and 20 is what
really? So you could do a short film and it could be an hour long.
Yeah, I mean one of the ones we watched this time around was about 40 something minutes, 43 minutes, 44 minutes.
I don't know where.
Feel so short though.
It doesn't
feel that short, especially when you're like looking like wanting to jam a few of these into one evening's watch. It's like, oh, this one's. But I'll say most of these are the animated ones are almost all under. We'll get to that, but they're all super short. The live action and documentary, usually the live action are 30 minutes or less, and the documentaries then get up into the longer, the 40 minutes or 30 minutes or
documentary.
Okay, Wikipedia says 40 minutes or less. So what do you call what's something that's in between 40 and an hour and 20?
Probably just a TV show.
What are those called?
That's just a TV show on a weekend.
Right, exactly.
I don't know.
All right, so let's talk about the first category, which is animated short films. This will be a quick one because very few of the 5 nominees are available to watch right now. The ones that aren't available are Letter to a Pig, Our Uniform, and Pachyderm. And then there's one called War is Over, inspired by the music of John and Yoko. Also not available to stream, but the trailer is available. And my God, if you have not seen the trailer, you need to go check out the trailer. It's only 2 minutes and 45 seconds long, but it is so... You get most of the whole story in that short time, and it is so powerful and moving and incredible. It's set in an alternative World War I where you've got 2 opposing soldiers playing chess using a carrier pigeon to get their moves back and forth over the front line, and it is beautiful. It is powerful. It's gorgeous animation. It's really, really good.
Yeah, it seems like the essence of the story is there, but I can tell there's a lot more to tell.
There's a lot more, and there's probably more of an ending than what you get in the trailer.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I was blown away by it. I first saw it yesterday when Brian posted it in Discord, and it was immediately just stylistically very evocative. It uses this weird, sketchy pen-like kind of art made full color, obviously. And then I find out later that thing's all rendered in Unreal Engine 5.
It's all in the Unreal Engine, yeah, which is amazing.
Freaking beautiful. Really, really something. So go seek that out if you haven't seen it.
Seek that one out. There's a link
so where
in the
can we
Discord
watch all this stuff, though?
I'll tell you, as a matter of fact. So you can watch the trailer for War is Over, inspired by the music of John and Yoko, on YouTube. I'm having links to everything that I talk about will be on Quick TMS. .li today, so you'll be able to click any of these and go right to the thing where you can watch it. And I
don't want to watch the trailer. I want to watch the thing.
Oh. Yeah, that one you have to go to. That one you have to go to a theater that's doing like the entire, like showing all of the shorts. There was a great thing. So Shorts TV during the pandemic would let you rent and watch all of the animated live action documentary shorts. That gave you 48 hours to watch it for $8 or something. It was totally worth it. Now that theaters are back open, they've moved these back to theaters. So you actually have to go to a theater that's showing all of them. However, about 50%, 60% of all of these are available online to watch, either on Netflix, Disney Plus, or YouTube, with a couple exceptions. Yeah. So that one, the trailer of that one you can watch on YouTube, and you'll want to keep an eye out for when the full thing gets released, which it will be eventually. Another one that's in animation is called 95 Senses. This is on Documentary Plus, a website, Documentary Plus, which apparently is a really good streaming service that you can watch nonstop documentaries. And I looked at some of the ones on there, and it's like, oh, this looks really cool. And as far as I could tell, I either got a free month trial or a free 7-day trial, but I didn't have to enter any credit card information, anything like that. Just basically said, oh, you want to watch something here? Go ahead. Like, didn't even have to enter in anything. So Documentary Plus. This one is called 95 Senses, and it's by Jerusha and Jared Hess, the Napoleon Dynamite team. And
wait, who told us about this recently? Didn't someone come on here and What am I thinking of?
Oh, I don't know. This was the first I thought I'd heard of it.
I swear somebody.
Maybe it was Core. Did John and.
No, somebody was saying. Somebody said the Hesses were working on an animated short, and it was the coolest thing they'd ever seen.
Huh.
Shit! I swear it was TMS. Anyway, sorry.
Maybe it was Randy.
It might have been. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Well, this one you can watch the whole thing on Documentary Plus. It's about 15 minutes, and this is another one that's got some incredible animation. And what's cool is that each of the 5 senses is done in a different style of animation, and then the narrative, because you've got basically an old man who. I swear it sounds like Tim Blake Nelson, but I didn't look it up to see if
it is him. It totally is him. That's right. Why do I know this? Why do I know this?
I don't know how you know this.
Somebody came on here and said Tim Blake Nelson narrates it, and it looks incredible, and I saw it, and you guys should see it, and we all said yes. I swear it was here.
Wow, how long ago was...
Well, it could have been weeks, but something like that. I cannot remember.
Wow,
someone in the chat's got to let us know where this was talked about, because I'm going to lose my mind. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah,
that is him.
So Tim Blake Nelson. Okay, well then that makes total sense. It sounds like Tim Blake Nelson from Oh Brother Where Art Thou.
Yeah.
As an old man, I won't tell you why he's talking about his 5 senses, but it's basically an ode to the body's 5 senses. And each sense is done in a different style of animation, and they're all incredible, and they're all like describing the things that you smell or that you hear or that you touch or that you see. And you get this incredible, again, kind of heartbreaking story that about this person who is telling the story of his 5 senses.
Wow.
Did you guys remember that movie I recommended where everybody's in the world losing their senses one at a time?
No.
Ooh, no.
Holy crap.
That wasn't Sense8, was it?
No.
That was an excuse for...
I can't remember the name of the movie. I'm sure I'll look it up real quick. But I think about... That's like... It's one of those haunting movies that kind of interjects in my head every once in a while. And I go,
that you think about every once in a while? That's cool.
Like, what would you do if you lost your sense of smell or sight or touch, taste? And it was like, it was an apocalyptic movie.
It sounds like it.
Everyone in the world, this was happening to.
Oh, and they lost their sight last or something?
Yeah.
You were saying? Yeah, I remember you talking about
a
this.
vague memory of this.
Maybe
yeah.
Ethan Hawke was in it. I don't know. But it freaked me out.
Huh.
Disturbing.
Yeah.
All right, so that's your animation. So definitely go to Documentary Plus and watch this for free. Watch 95 senses. Yes, 95 senses. Fantastic, moving, touching. Like, you have to basically think about these shorts as like, all right, we've got this entire story that we need to tell in these little short periods of time, and so it's more packed in than a movie. So a lot. I don't know, a lot richer, a lot denser content. And it's really, really good. Let's move on to the live action short films.
Can I tell you? It's called Perfect Sense with Ewan McGregor.
Okay.
Perfect Sense. Okay. And it's a movie, right? Not a series?
Yeah, it's a movie. Came out in 2011.
Okay.
All right. Putting it on my list.
I'm writing it down. Excellent.
All right. So live action short films. There's a couple in here that are really worth checking out. Again, we were only able to watch 3 of the 5. Invincible and Red, White, and Blue are not available to watch, but we did watch trailers for those so that when the Oscar category comes around, we won't be completely left in the dark as to what these other 2 are. Mm-hmm. One of them is actually about a woman living paycheck to paycheck. Brittany Snow plays her. But works in a diner. She's getting pregnant. She gets pregnant. She has to go across state lines to get an abortion. It's a story about her her travels. But the 2 that I want to point you to, the 3, because there are 3 that are really good ones in this category. The first one is called The After, and this is about a guy who witnesses an incredibly harsh, heavy, violent crime, and has to deal with it afterwards. And the actor is David Oyelowo. God,
I don't know.
I'm trying to remember what.
Oyelowo.
Nailed it.
I've always seen his name, but I've never had to pronounce it. But he was in Selma. He was in Jack Reacher, British actor. Anyway, this one
Sorry,
is.
I can't help you.
That's all right. This one is moving and really, really powerful. And I will say, could be. There's not a sexual attack in it, but it still has some violence in it that could be triggering for some people. So if you're easily triggered by violence, like crowd kind of violence, then you may have an issue with that. Was he in Silo? He was in Silo.
Oh, he's the guy in Silo.
He's the first guy. Yes.
He's also that lawman Bass Reeves guy that I need to see. That's Western on Paramount. I knew that name was familiar. It was bugging me. Now I get it.
He goes by David O, apparently, which I think is a good idea for him. Yeah. So that's called The After. You can watch that one on Netflix. Incredible, but just a little bit of a trigger warning for folks. Night of Fortune is this one you can watch on. Basically, there's a link to the Vimeo, or I'm sorry, YouTube, where you can watch this one. This one is, I believe, a Danish import or a Swedish, definitely Scandinavian import. So you've got subtitles, and it's about a guy who. And you kind of won't believe that there's a little bit of a comedy element to this thing, but it's about a guy who has to go to a morgue to identify his wife's body, or view for a viewing of his wife's body. And when I describe it, it sounds like there's no possible way there could be a comedic element in this, but there is, and it's really, really heartfelt, very, very emotional, but light, if you can believe it.
Wow.
The last one I'm going to recommend, and I'm waiting for Nicole to chime in on this one, is The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. Now, this is a Wes Anderson short film starring Benedict Cumberbatch and Ralph Fiennes and Ben Kingsley, like great cast. It's based on a Roald Dahl story, and it is all narration with action that takes place behind the narration. So as people are describing, as Cumberbatch is describing the things that are happening, describing his story, these things are happening, but he's looking directly at the camera, telling you the story. And it's kind of like a story within another story. And I'm curious as to how far you got through it, because you found it to be really boring. I thought it was beautiful.
So if I'd known it was going to be a video book, maybe I would have gone in with the right expectations.
With more expectations, sure, yes.
I got to Ben Kingsley.
Okay.
His part, and I was like, I'm out. I'm just done. I'm bored. I'm going to fall asleep. Okay, yeah, it's pretty, and I like how they swoop everything in. It was just a bunch of dudes talking, to be honest.
It absolutely is a bunch of dudes talking. There's
just a bunch of guys talking, and I just like, oh, this is boring.
Like, I haven't looked, but I'm pretty sure that it's the Roald Dahl story read.
It just felt pretentious. I don't know. Wow. I know. It just didn't hit for me.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure people are like, what? But yeah. It didn't
nope. And I got it as soon as I saw your review of him. Like, or as soon as I saw. After I talked about it, you saying, I watched it. I couldn't even get through it. I was like, I could totally see why. If you're not ready for that and you're not expecting that, and you want more of a traditional Wes Anderson film, this is not the thing for you. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's only 45 minutes. I'll just watch it. And I'm like, I can't finish 45 minutes.
I will say that Tina and I liked it a lot more than Tina did. Tina wasn't quite to the level of like, this is boring, move on to the next one. But she's like, yeah, that was okay. And I'm like, oh, I loved the presentation of it.
Yeah.
But again,
that said, I am really into audio books right now.
Yeah.
And I wonder if I would go back to that and kind of like put it on in my car and not watch it, but listen to it.
It's a great story. So you didn't find out what happened after the Ben Kingsley stuff.
No. I just got to the part where he was like, I can see
Without using my
beyond what's
eyes.
in without using my eyes,
Yeah.
and like they were studying him.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, this is stupid. I don't want to. I didn't want to.
Well, if you
got
ever
other
decide to
things
go
to
back
watch.
to it, I'd be curious if you feel, because there's a great redemption story in the second half of it that
Are there any women in it at all? Because I look at the cast and it's nothing but guys.
No,
I don't think there is.
I don't even think in background.
Yeah. Well, there's a nurse. I think maybe there's a nurse. No, it's all doctors.
Yeah, no, they're all doctors. Listen, Shawshank Redemption had 2 women with one-line speaking roles. So come on, you can't.
I'm not saying it was just a spirit. I just noticed.
Yeah.
It was very noticeable.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Short film sausage fest.
It is a total short film sausage fest. That said, I think some people really enjoy it. Some people might have a hard time with it as well. But I found it an amazing story and
Scott,
really
I am
a lot of fun.
Amazed you haven't seen it. I know you're a Wes Anderson.
I am. I meant to
Yeah.
watch it, and I just haven't had a chance to get around to it. I'm glad to hear. My guess is I'm going to like it because I like even the most controversial or less liked Wes Anderson things.
Mm-hmm. You liked Asteroid City a lot more than I did.
Oh, I loved that movie.
I did too. I enjoyed Asteroid City too.
Yeah, I loved it, and I love most of his work. So this to me is a no-brainer. Just got to get around to it. I didn't know it was a short film. I thought it was just like a full-blown, 2-hour movie or something. I didn't know how short.
And you know what? I have an audio clip of that very thing. Can you play my recommendal one?
Yeah, here it is.
This is a little bit. This is Ray Fiennes as Roald Dahl at the beginning of Henry Sugar.
All right, here you go.
Henry Sugar was 41 years old, unmarried and rich. He was rich because he had a rich father who was now dead. He was unmarried because he was too selfish to share any of his money with a wife. He was 6 feet 2 inches tall and not perhaps as handsome as he thought he was. He paid a great deal of attention to his clothes. He went to an expensive tailor for his suits, to a shirt maker for his shirts, and to a boot maker for his shoes. His hairdresser trimmed his hair once every 10 days, and he always took a manicure at the same time. He drove a Ferrari motor car, which cost him about the same as a country cottage. All his friends were rich, and he had never done a day's work in his life. Men like Henry Sugar can be found drifting like seaweed all over the world. They're not particularly bad men, but they're not good men either. They're simply part of the decoration.
It's so funny. I didn't realize this was a story by how do you say
Roald Dahl? Roald Dahl.
Yeah. So I finally introduced Mateo to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, cool. Which one did you start with? The Gene Wilder, the original?
Hell yes, I started
with
of course. Gene Wilder one. He is at the age where he wants to be safe scared. And I'm like, this is a weird freaking movie. And we got to the boat scene, and he's like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, that tunnel thing. That tunnel thing will scar you if you're not the right age, man. That thing is a freak show in there. That tunnel.
Yeah. And he's like, "What's a snozberry?" I'm like, "I can't tell you that right now."
Yeah, you'll learn.
Yeah.
Well, you may never learn.
You're older. We'll talk about it when you're older.
Yeah, the world may never know. Anyway, so that gives you a little bit of a taste. Ray Fiennes, sitting down, getting up, walking towards the camera, things moving behind him to set the scene, but for all this, it's like the stuff takes place in the background behind the characters in that Henry Sugar.
Cool.
Let's get to documentary shorts. Lo and behold, you can watch all the documentary shorts online right now for I wouldn't say for free, but if you've got the streaming services associated with them. Let's start. This is actually going to be another one, my other audio clip. This is from, and I'll give some setup. This is from a documentary short on Paramount Plus called The ABCs of Book Banning. And it talks about the books that are banned, but not from the perspective of the authors or from the people who are against it, but from the kids who want to read these books and can't, and they're wondering why. And you're going to hear a little girl read an excerpt from a book called it's about being a strong and powerful young woman growing up into a strong adult. And For some reason, this book is banned, and it's ridiculous. And here's the clip.
Here we go.
Standing tall like a soaring tower. I am valued. I am loved. I have a purpose, hope, and power. It's about like celebrating who you are and like celebrating you. It reminds me of who I am because I really have I don't have great self-confidence. My teacher keeps saying that she wants to open a self-confidence camp for girls because she says with the group of people she teaches, fifth graders, girls have really low self-confidence. So she's always saying that, and I think that's right. It's just telling us to be powerful. I don't get what the problem with that is. I just don't think it's telling anybody to do anything bad. It's just telling you to be who you are and be powerful. If you read this book and still after you read this book, read it twice, read it 3 times, realize that, oh, this book needs to be banned, then something's not clicking in your brain.
Sounds like a really smart kid.
A bunch of smart kids. And they're basically looking at these books that are banned, challenged, or restricted. 3 levels of you just outright can't get it, or you have to get it with a with adult permission, that sort of thing. And the Diary of Anne Frank graphic novel, unavailable. Mouse, M-A-U-S, that great another great graphic novel, banned. And it talks about these kids are looking through these and saying, oh, the Rosa Parks story for some reason banned or restricted. And this girl is like, so if you're whoever decided to ban this or restrict this, are you saying that you think Rosa Parks was a bad person? I'd love to know why you chose to ban this. So this is on Paramount Plus, and it is fascinating. And when you see this list of books, and they're going through a lot of these books, the most prominent of these banned books, and these kids describing, I don't understand what's wrong with this. I'm reading it right now, and I can't see what could possibly be wrong with this. Really, really good. That one, I feel like it's between 2 of these that are going to win the category, and I think this is probably the one with the best shot.
Nick, there's a whole segment on John Oliver that just came out on Sunday.
Yes.
Did you see them reading the books?
Yeah, yes, where it's clips of these people who are protesting these books, and they're reading, these very salacious passages from them.
I'm like, are those books really I don't know. I just always feel like there's more to the story.
But the Strong Powerful Women book that these kids are reading, or the Diary of Anne Frank or Rosa Parks, none of those have the kind of salacious stuff that these people
There's always more to the story no matter what. So fair point.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right, the second one is called The Barber of Little Rock. This is takes place in Little Rock, Arkansas, and focuses on this guy who noticed this big gap between the haves and the have-nots, or the big wealth gap, basically, that's racial, and seeing a lot of these Black families and Black people in the community that don't have the means to earn enough to even pay their rent or their mortgage or whatever. And so he opens up a hairdressing training facility, barber training facility, and he teaches these people how to do hair. They're able to open salons. They're able to open hair cutting facilities, things like that, both in Little Rock and outside of Little Rock. And because they now are getting the problem with what's called banking while Black, which I've heard of driving while Black. I get introduced to the term banking while Black. He opens up a community bank, an FDIC insured bank that caters towards these people who would not be able to get loans to start their own businesses, who would not be able to get the kinds of backing and funding and stuff. That's amazing. Yeah, it's this one's incredible as well. It's called The Barber of Little Rock. This one is also on YouTube, and you'll find a link to watch that in quicktms.li as well. 2 more. The Last Repair Shop. Really quickly, this is about Los Angeles's.
Oh, yeah.
This one's great. This is on Disney Plus,
Yeah.
and this one's about this group of people who maintain and repair musical instruments so that kids in kids who can't afford instruments can actually get instruments to learn how to play
Well,
music. Yeah.
And it's the last publicly funded music program. Like
Yes.
everywhere else, like my kids' school, you have to pay to join band, and you have to pay for your own instrument or rent your own instrument. This is all free.
Yeah.
From what I understand.
It is. And they talk with the people who do the repair work, and these stories of like them growing up and how they got their first instrument. This guy gets his violin at a garage sale, and now he's like in a band. In addition to doing this repair work, he's also in a band where he plays banjo, or where he plays the fiddle, and has played with numerous famous people. And God, his story was just great. It's another quick watch. It's on Disney Plus, and it's called The Last Repair Shop.
Nice.
And finally, this is another one I think, Scott, you would really enjoy. This is also on Disney Plus, and it's called Nene and Waipo, or Nai and Waipo, which basically is Grandma and Grandpa. I'm sorry, Grandma and Grandma.
Oh, wow.
And it's two grandmas, the two grandmas of a couple who get married, who are living together. So they are they're only related by their grandchildren who got married, but they live together, and they are so sweet and cute and hilarious, talking with each other, and the games they play with each other, and dancing and stuff like that. And there's farting, Scott. There's farting in this, and dancing and stretching and organizing shoes, and it's all so like this of all of these stories just gives you the most warm fuzzies inside when you watch it.
Nice.
Nai and Waipo.
Look at these cute old ladies, man. Love this.
Yes, they are adorable, and that's that film. I think that's maybe a 10-minute short, and it's really
where
sweet.
is
Probably
Disney
won't win.
Plus deal? You said Disney.
That
Plus?
one's on Disney Plus as well. So I think category-wise, I think it's going to be either the ABCs of book banning or The Last Repair Shop that wins at the Oscars. But
I could see that.
But this one's beautiful. Barbara of Little Rock is touching. We didn't watch Island in Between, but that one's also available on YouTube, and it's about Taiwan, United States, and China, from the islands of Kinmen. I think for live action short, I don't know. I feel like I thought more about The After than I did about The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar or Night of Fortune.
Has Wes Anderson ever won an Oscar?
Yes, multiple times.
For Fantastic Mr. like animated for
Did he?
Fantastic Mr. Fox, right?
Wes Anderson won for wasn't Grand Budapest Hotel a big winner for a bunch of stuff?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Hold on.
Definitely nominated across a ton of categories.
I can look it up and see.
Yeah,
here.
screenplay maybe, right? Original screenplay.
Yeah, or something. It was the Best Picture nomination, also Best Director, but I don't know if he won.
I don't think he won.
No, I didn't think he won for either of those.
Okay, here we go. It is Rushmore got Golden Globe. Tannenbaum's got let's do Academy Awards. Nomination for Tannenbaum's Fantastic Mr. Fox, 2 nominations. Oh, here it is. Grand Budapest Hotel got 9 nominations, got 4 wins. That's his biggest by far. Isle of
Probably
Dogs
for
did all
visual,
right.
or not visual, for sets and costumes and stuff. Probably.
Seems like there was some. He got something that year. I can't find the damn thing. Where's his awards? Box office, language. I don't care. What about?
I can see if he hasn't won in the past, that he would win for something like that.
And they maybe could give it to him for a short. Yeah, for a short or something.
They could. I feel like The After was way more powerful for me, and one that I thought of a lot afterwards, and the compelling story that's in there. So I would recommend Henry Sugar. I'd recommend all 3 of those that I talked about for live action short: Night of Fortune, Henry Sugar, and The After. They're both all three are really good.
Nice. And if anyone can find Wes Anderson's winnings, let me know. I can't find shit. I'm looking on his page and it says he's been nominated, and they don't talk about the wins at all.
Talk about wins. Oh, geez.
He'll win before he's dead.
So all of that again, quicktms.li. You'll find links to everything I've talked about where you can watch it. Basically, take you right to the movies on YouTube or on Documentary Plus or on Netflix, whatever.
Nice. So, all right, let's swing over to Nicole. Nicole, you've got one here that's, it smells a little old, but not in a bad way.
It holds up for me. So I'll just say I've thought about this a lot, and I'm a big fan of Shelley Long.
Yeah, I like her too.
I have quite a few movies that I really, really enjoy from her, and she's not everybody's cup of tea, but she's my cup of tea. So go ahead and play that clip.
All right, here we go. Money Clip's own. What's her name from Cheers?
Money
Here we
Clip?
go. Not Money Clip, Money Pit is what I was thinking.
Pit.
Oh,
There
Money
you go.
Pit's
Money
Not the
Pit.
Money
I was like,
Clip.
Money Clip.
The Money Clip.
The Money Clip with Tom Hanks and
I liked her. I loved her in Rehearsal of Fortune.
Yeah,
too.
Rehearsal of Fortune was amazing. Oh my gosh, they finally got it right after those many rehearsals. All right, here we go. This is it.
Mrs. Leffler, it's your turn. A scary story? Yeah, yes. Okay. All right. It was a cold and rainy day in March. I went to Christophe's where I usually get my hair done, but Christophe had mysteriously disappeared. And in his place was a stranger named Ronaldo. I'll never forget him. His eyes were steely gray, very cold, and his hands were like ice.
Okay. I still have never seen this movie in my life.
I've never seen it either.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all right. So since Ava is now in Girl Scouts, I was like, Ava, we have to watch Troupe Beverly Hills together. And I'm looking, I don't know why, but none of like my top 4 Shelley Long movies are streaming anywhere. So Troupe Beverly Hills, The Money Pit, Outrageous Fortune, and Hello Again. Those are my top 4 Shelley Long movies.
Oh, Hello Again. I forgot that. Yeah, that's right. I was thinking, Again was confusing Reversal of Fortune with Outrageous Fortune. That's right.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and bought it on Amazon. So we now are the proud owners of Troupe Beverly Hills.
Finally, you just bought the damn thing. Good job.
So this is, I feel like, I was never in Girl Scouts growing up. We didn't have Girl Scouts in where I grew up. I grew up in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So when Ava said she wanted to join the Girl Scouts, I was like, okay, I'll look into it. And so we've gone full force into the cookie sales because we've dropped in right when cookie sales. So if you want Girl Scout cookies, let me know.
That's right.
It is Girl Scouts cookie season.
Nice.
So before we did cookie booth duty at Lowe's over the weekend, which she absolutely hated, we watched Troupe Beverly Hills. And I was really, she goes, Mom, they're cussing. I go, it's okay, honey. It's a PG, it's an 80s PG movie.
Yeah. It's a different standard back then.
So this is Nelson. And it, there's actually some heavy concepts in here that usually Ava watches cartoon movies. She's really not interested in live action. She was really interested in watching this because it's about Shelley Long, who lives in Beverly Hills, and she has a daughter in the wilderness, which is the Girl Scouts. They couldn't use Girl Scouts, so they called it Wilderness Girls.
Okay.
But it's 100% Girl Scouts.
Yeah.
And she's married to Craig T. Nelson. And Mateo, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, you should be in
leave me
school
alone,
right
kid.
now. What are you doing calling?
I say, how dare you call me with the default Apple ring that we've heard for 2 decades? How dare you?
That was my computer. Yeah. But so there's this whole introduction of the concept of divorce and splitting up, and they're trying to navigate those feelings. And you have girls in the troupe that can't afford to be in the troupe. And so there's just like, I mean, it's a lot of fun, but it also it kind of wraps around some, serious topics that are a little hard for kids to talk about. So I found Ava and I having conversations about, why people divorce, stuff like that. So I love the movie. It held up. I loved it.
Where'd you
buy it? Watch it.
Where'd you buy it?
I bought it on Amazon.
Okay.
I think it was like $5.
It's $4 on Amazon, or I'm sorry, rental is $4 Amazon and Apple TV. Basically everywhere you can rent it's about $4.
Yeah. I've never seen it. My sisters adored it, and were like they would rewatch it constantly, and I just me it was like the way I would watch like Back to the Future. It was just on all the time for them, just always. So
my brother always had Goonies on. I think I had Troupe Beverly Hills on quite a bit.
Yeah, that's your deal. And look, it's your thing, and it was important for a big generation of girls. So I have nothing but respect for this thing I've never seen.
Well, and you'll recognize a lot of the young wilderness girls because they went and did other
Spelling
things.
is one of them.
Tori
right?
Spelling. She's one of the mean. She's one of the mean girls.
Okay,
she'd play a good mean girl. I could see that.
Of course, there's it's an '80s movie. Of course, there's going to be a villain. So that's the whole crux of it. Is there's just a really mean head wilderness camp leader that hates Shelley Long.
Yeah,
and like trying to be good and with people not liking you and stuff like that.
Sure.
Speaking of, hey, I know, Brian, you were talking about, young girls trying to build up their confidence with that one.
Yeah, that book. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I would like to share something that I started doing with Ava that it's a small startup, and it's turned out to be one of the best things that I do with Ava every night. And it's called Legends. And I thought it was going to be like a little 5-minute introduction to like notable people doing things, but it ended up it turned into something that her and I do together almost every single night, and it's building her confidence over time. We do it 5 minutes every night, and so they'll profile people like Serena Williams, Kobe Bryant, just a ton of people. And it talks about like giving her actionable things to build her confidence up. And it's been one of the best things that I've done because she was having some troubles at school. It's been one of the best things I've done with her because I share too. So it's not like you're lecturing your kid about, oh, you need to have more confidence. Well, how do you do that? How do you do that, right?
Yeah.
It also doesn't feel like, look what they were doing by the time they were 12.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. Is that like on a streaming service that you watch these, or
no,
YouTube?
And it's weird because it's not an app. It's a website that acts like an app. It's called Build Legends, and if you go, they have like a free trial, and that's what I did. I was like, oh, I'll give it a try, and I was like, oh wow, this is different. I wasn't expecting this to be so awesome.
Yeah.
And it's something that she will ask to do every night, and so you have a coach that kind of walks you through that 5-minute training session, and at the end it tells you've been training for 30 days, you've been training for 200 minutes. And it just kind of keeps building them up. It's one of the only things that I do with her that I can share my experiences and she can share hers, and then we can talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
if
cool.
anybody is, it's called Build Legends.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, look at all the recommendals we're soaking in today. So many. You might wonder why Scott didn't bring one. 2 reasons. I knew we wouldn't have time. And number 2, I've not had any time to watch anything new anyway. I'm watching ER episodes for hell's sakes while I work. So
That's right.
it's it all worked out nice for me. So get all this at quicktms.li. As always, Nicole, having you around is a pleasure. Thanks for being here. And tell Mark to make some wood or something.
Hug those kids for us.
That's right, damn it.
Yeah.
That is it for that. And that means we are just about done with today's show. What do we have left here? Oh, I got a quick email. This is from Steven, not our Steven, different Steven. This is about the Star Tours conversation we were having, whether it was around or not or whatever. It says
it was it was the feud topic.
That's right. Let's see. This came to themorningstream@gmail.com. My wife and I went to Disneyland for our honeymoon, pretty much just for the Star Wars stuff. We highly recommend the current Star Tours. They revamped it a while back, and now it has multiple stories. So each time you go, you can get an entirely different scenario. We went during the day originally, but went back in the evening when everyone else was out trying to find a place for the fireworks. Ugh, and I hate that. I always avoid that.
It's the best time to go on rides because it's like, it's just, all right,
it's
Disney
fireworks.
Does it up. It's a nice fireworks show. It's, it's better than most fireworks shows, but still it's fireworks.
Yeah, and you see it once, go to Brian's right. Go get in the rides. They're less packed. Anyway, says there was no line, and it was a great place to sit after walking all day, and we got a different scenario than we did the first time, says Steven. Yeah, I thought it was gone.
No, it's still there, and like you said, totally revamped. What they've done is they've broken it into two parts, so the ride is two parts, I think, with the same thing in the middle, the same Oreo filling, but two different cookies.
Mm-hmm.
And each of those cookies can be one of like 8 different scenarios. So you'll start off on Hoth, and then you'll go into space, and then you'll end up on Batu, or you'll start up on Endor, and then you'll end up on Kashyyyk or something like that.
Right.
And there's a storyline for each one. The other thing they did, unfortunately, is they took out Pee Wee Herman, or the Paul Rubens voiced robot, but they did move him to the cantina. So now he's there DJing all day long.
Wow.
And you get the Paul Rubens voice there, and then they have new stuff in the Star Tours.
That's cool.
The Star Tours ride. So yeah, I mean, with all those combinations, I don't know how many different possible combinations there are, but you're almost guaranteed to get a different ride every single time.
I don't know if it's Universal or somewhere that who has the King Kong stuff. Do you know who does
Universal?
All that? Universal.
Yeah.
So I guess there was a 3D thing, and they took the 3D out, and everyone's freaking out about it now because now you can still do it. You just don't wear 3D glasses to see it or something like that. Yeah,
interesting.
Some weird freak out I was reading about the other day. I can't remember what it was. Somebody I follow.
You're happy about it because it's like, I have to put on those glasses that I doubt have been sanitized to any degree of completion.
I don't trust any of those. Plus, they're just annoying, and it never looks right to me. It's never looked right to me because my eyes are kind of shit, and or they were. I guess I haven't done it since I had my surgeries, but just never looked right. Well, there you go. Thank you, Stephen, for that. It's a good update on what's going on in Disneyland with Star Tours. We are going to get out of here. Before we do, a reminder that all things point to frogpants.com/TMS. If you're trying to track us down or anything about the show, it's all there. Go find it. That's frogpants.com/TMS. Brian, let's get out of here with a song. Do you have a song?
Sure, I have a song, and this one is going out to Glitch. Is that right? Yes, Glitch. Good morning, Sun and Burn. The 9th is my 41st birthday. Yes, this one is about 19 days late. Happy birthday, belated birthday, Glitch. 9th is my 41st birthday, and instead of requesting some goth industrial band, I need the cover master's help. My wife, once again, saving my life by finding a mole in a not easily seen area, but that would have been melanoma. Lucky test came up negative. So everyone go get checked. Anyway, I need something that's got that disco funk magic to jumpstart the heart. Thank you for what you do. And Scott, hope you got a chance to play the SLC Fallout mod that I texted you.
I did. It's awesome. It's cool. I would play a whole game set in decrepit, burned out Salt Lake. It really rubbed all my buttons. It sounds terrible, but it rubbed my buttons.
It rubbed all your buttons.
Yeah.
Did it find a mole in a not easily seen area?
No, it did not. But I did find the other day, I found a mole that I didn't know I had before. Turns out it was nothing. But, they start showing up at weird times now. You just get them.
They totally do. Oh, my God.
I don't like it.
I found one on my thigh that, well, fortunately turned out to be a melted chocolate chip, but still get checked, everybody.
It's a mole-like discovery. Sure,
it's a mole-like discovery, but taste it and then find out if it's chocolate.
Always lick your moles,
especially the ones on your thigh. Let's get to this one right here. This is by a new. I'm totally into new disco funk. Like, believe me, I love my funkadelic. I love my old school bands that do the great mix, but bands that do this stuff now and make it feel authentic and genuine and not just let's do another cookie cutter cover stamped with disco funk. Ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk.
Sure.
This one's great. This is by Argonaut and Wasp, and this is a single they released in 2017 covering the Rolling Stones' Beast of Burden.
Also, it sounds like a toy I would want in the 80s.
Argonaut and Wasp.
And Wasp, yeah. I'd have to go get it's like part of the Micronaut scene or whatever. That's
right.
awesome.
That's right. Batteries not included. Argonaut and Wasp sold separately.
Oh, freaking Galoob or Kenner or somebody making it. Oh,
Right.
man. All right. Well, there you go, everybody. Let's play it now. We'll be back tomorrow with the Thursday edition of the show. We'll see you then.
Get more at frogpants.com.
Hey, I'm going to actually have to put the headphones down for a second and go throw up.
Just a little throwback. A little throwback for
To
you.
throw up a